So why do I talk about debt slave all the time? Debt slave this, debt slave that. It's a tag name, is it a brand name? What the fuck is a debt slave? Well, that's because of John Adams, who said there are two ways to enslave a nation. The first is by the sword. Historically, we know this, like Egypt enslaved the Jews. Slavery was and actually the Muslims enslaved quite a few white Christians. Like the reason they built castles in Europe, and that's the only place on the planet you see a large number of castles. Why did they build castles? Because after Muhammad wrote his book, whatever, we can debate that another time, but his followers, generation after generation, hundreds of years, went after and invaded as much land of everybody, not just Christians, everybody. The Jews, anybody non-Muslim. If you were non-Muslim, you're free game, and we're gonna enslave you. And so the Christians actually, they built big-ass castles. It's like, you're not getting in here. I've fortified my defenses. And you will starve to death before I starve to death, kind of besieges. And they give up. And then the Christians would rebuild. Bigger. Better. And the castles got bigger and bigger. And bigger and bigger. And bigger and bigger. And we got some really big freaking Christian castles to prevent the enslavement of their people. Now, let's ignore the enslavement by the sword that has been historically accurate, and let's look now to the enslavement by debt and how that goes about. See, right now in the United States of America, we have representatives. Okay, are they representing anything? They're people who are elected to office, and they pretend to represent the regular folk. Yet they vote in favor of non-budget omnibus bills without reading it. This last one, $1.3 trillion, and nobody fucking read it. The one before that, trillion fucking dollars, nobody fucking read it. That is an unrepresentative tyranny. That's what we rebelled about. No taxation without representation. If you're not going to read the bill, then you're not representative of your population who actually gave you the job. You are now enslaving your voters with debt because you're too lazy, you're too, I don't know what, but you ain't going to read it. So you don't even actually know. Nancy Pelosi said, we've got to pass the $750 billion TARP bill to know what's in it. Bullshit. Bullshit. Sorry. If you aren't reading expenditure legislation, you are non-representative. No taxation without representation is the entire foundation of this nation. So, debt slave. I'm a debt slave. You're a debt slave. $21 trillion in debt. The average human born, the babies born in the U.S., the day they actually arrive, you know what happens? Is the parents sign the birth certificate, which allows the government to use that individual as collateral on the national debt to a private bank. We're talking Creature of Jekyll Island, the private bank. Oh my goodness, I don't even know where I started this video, and I'm just ranting on and on, but we can't let it continue. This will come to a head. We can choose where it goes, or we can let it happen to us. Will you do nothing? Or will you speak out and do something? What say you, debt slave?